The Consolation of Philosophy was penned by a persecuted man in a dying empire. Reflecting on the fickleness of fortune, Boethius laments his unjust suffering. But his muse, Lady Philosophy, grants him a revelation. Misfortune can actually be a good thing. What does she mean? To call Boethius's plight a fall from glory would be an understatement. Born to a wealthy political family in 480, he rose through the ranks, becoming a senator and consul by his early 30s. And in 522 he was appointed Master of Offices by Theodoric the Great. An avid reader of Greek philosophy, Boethius wrote that he was originally inspired to go into politics by Plato. Philosophers should take part in politics in order to prevent the state from falling into the hands of the stupid and the wicked. Boethius's crowning achievement, though, was the appointment of his two sons as consuls that same year. In the Consolation, he remembers celebrating their appointment as if it were a military triumph. Boethius had reached the height of Roman politics, but the glory didn't last. Shortly after entering his new position in Theodoric's court, he became embroiled in political controversy. He was accused of treason by a rival after defending a fellow politician from the same crime. Boethius believed it was his unflinching loyalty toward the truth that was his downfall. He writes, "I found myself inevitably opposing the plans of selfish and unprincipled men, and in the effort to keep my conscience clear and do what was lawful and right, I offended a lot of people who were more powerful than I was." So Boethius found himself in a jail cell lamenting his hardship, and it was here where one of the most influential works in Western literature was penned. Great works of art always begin with magnificent struggle, right? In the Consolation, Boethius dialogues with the personification of philosophy, Lady Philosophy, about his plight while addressing larger philosophical questions like the existence of evil and the nature of happiness. But first, Boethius wrestles with the tension between God's providence and the role of fortune in life. Why was he, a virtuous man, pushed from such a height while dishonest men retained their power? Boethius is bothered by the fact that outcomes do not correlate with virtue. If actions are judged only by outcomes, then those who are like me, unfortunate or unlucky, are likely to be immediately abandoned by men of goodwill. Fortune is described as a wheel, where one can ride up to high heights, but must come down again. It is this seemingly endless ride that does not seem to make sense in a world where God should punish evildoers and bless good men. Lady Philosophy muses, "Slippery fortune plays her random games with us. The innocent suffer penalties proper to malefactors, and wicked men sit upon thrones." It seems hopeless, then, to ask for justice in the world if the whims of fortune dictate so much, and indiscriminately pick winners and losers. But Lady Philosophy says this is not so. In order to understand, one must first know what fortune actually is. What we call fortune is not necessarily random chance, though it may seem so at first glance. This is because we do not understand the ordering of the universe, claims Lady Philosophy. She says that ultimately it is divine providence that orders all things toward the good. It can appear to be random and confused, but although you cannot understand the way things are ordered in the universe, you can rest assured that a good governor does indeed keep order and has a plan. You should not doubt that everything happens as it should. She compares the relationship between providence and fortune to that of a craftsman who takes many steps to complete his project. God's unchanging plan, providence, is the completed form, but it is through many steps, the twists and turns of fortune, that it is accomplished. Just as the steps involved in making a piece of carpentry cannot always be understood on their own, so too does the turning of the wheel of fortune. But because God has an ultimate plan toward the good, fortune is always directed toward the good too. And this is why misfortune is actually good. It's simply a step in God's divine plan, though we fail to perceive it. When misfortune befalls good men and good fortune finds evil men, it is providence granting that person what is necessary to push God's plan forward. But even on a personal level, the turns of fortune are meant to develop virtue within each person. Providence will harass some, because others they might run to excess with unbroken prosperity. To others it may bring hardships in order to strengthen their mind with the qualities of piety and patience. Therefore, all fortune is good for the person it involves. Every kind of fortune, whether pleasing or painful, is granted to men for the purpose of rewarding or testing good men, or else of punishing or correcting those who are bad. Every kind of fortune is good then, because it is just or useful. So we understand that fortune is the method that God's providence uses to carry out its mission, both on a macro level and a personal one. But what of Boethius? How does his suffering fit into all of this? It's no question the great suffering he endured led to his writing of the Consolation. Without his imprisonment, the greatest work of the 6th century, and one of the most widely read books of the Middle Ages, would not have been written. Aside from his personal sanctification, the suffering of Boethius was, according to his own philosophy, offered up to Providence. His misfortune was used to bring about a great good to the world. In his own words, spoken by Lady Philosophy, Boethius writes, "In God's mind, even evils can have good uses, and by their careful application God can contrive a good result. There is an ultimate order that governs all things." One more thing before you go. First of all, thank you for watching this video. We are so grateful for all our supporters, and would be especially grateful if you like, subscribe, and most importantly hit the bell. This ensures you never miss any of our videos. But if you're really passionate about exploring the timeless ideas of the West, we need your help to keep this mission alive. While our videos are here on YouTube, the heart of our work lives on Substack. Your support there allows us to continue our research and produce the in-depth essays, historical analysis, and cultural commentary you love. By joining, you become a key part of our effort to highlight the truth and beauty of the West. The link to join is in the description. Once again, thank you, and we'll see you over on Substack.